This is as much a test of DT alt as it is a test of like aim slop, aim speed type thing. Couple of parts of this I want to check in the editor. Alt can be like the gateway drug to slop jumps. So here's my thing. Alt mapping doesn't exist. I only use it as a term for the benefit of the people who don't really get it. But you are right, it can absolutely be a gateway drug. Being able to tap this sort of thing and being able to move this fast. Oh, I looked at it like that. I looked at it like that was the pattern. Okay. Jiggle all maps then? I break them down into their component parts first. So this is just awkward aim jumps. So in a sense, it's like technical aim. The thing is, the speed of a beat map does not change what types of skill sets the beat map tests. But when you speed up different skill sets, some of them get harder more exponentially than linearly, you know what I mean? It might feel like it changes, but it's just another aspect of the map that is getting harder faster. That said, this is just, like, technical aim to me. The name alt map isn't really good because you can single tap it if you're fast. See, people don't actually get what an alt map is. If I was to show you what an alt map is, you would understand why they are called alt maps and why the name does not fit into modern day. So, if we type val 0108 in, and then we scroll down their ranked maps, we can find a load of maps that are in between 260 and 320 BPM. For example, we've got, Sankyu, with a dance number. Notice the 2011. Let's keep going. What else have we got? Cosmos 2011, remember? Let's have a look. Talent Shredder, oh look, 2012. And these types of maps is where the term alt mapping came from. Because you couldn't single tap this. Back in the day, single tapping was the playstyle. Remember, to begin with, you could only tap on space if you wanted to tap on the keyboard. You only had one key available to you. So that progressed further and further through the game, through the history, and you had to single tap. To be a normal player, to be a respected player, you would be a single tapper, because there was no other option, or at least not as perceived by the community. So this is what alt mapping was. If you couldn't single tap it, you were forced into alternating. And that was considered the inferior playstyle. That was considered cheating on this type of map. Because if you can't tap 280 BPM, then you shouldn't be playing this map. It's not for you. You're cheating. Not like you could get banned for it, because it wasn't actually cheating. You weren't, like, usurping the rules of the game. You were just playing it in the way it was not intended to be played, and thus you were seen as, like, not playing it by the spirit. So much so, can I add, that there was even consideration for a single tap buff to performance points. In a section like this, extended sections of single taps, because this obviously you have to single tap this. You have to. These are single taps. Why would you ever use two keys? You got to use two keys on these patterns because they're streams. But in between, you have to single tap it. That's how the map's intended to be played. Just single tapping limit higher than this. Had this mindset regarding single tapping for longer than I'd like to admit. I think it's old player syndrome, because it's around about 2014 that alting kind of became known to not be inferior. Like, before this, everybody thought if you alternated, you could not act. Like, people thought that single tapping was the only way that you could get unstable rates below 80. I'm pulling that number out of my ass a little bit, but like that's pretty much what they thought of it. That you could not play this game optimally if you were alternating. And then players just slowly started getting good at alternating. They slowly started being able to play it. Players like Aza was a big part of this, right? Aza was a big part of this because he was an alternate player and he was getting good accuracies. There was a Japanese player that I always forget the name of. He peaked around about rank 30, and he was the one that broke the stigma that alt players couldn't stream. Like, this was a skill set that was locked away from alt players because people used to think that single tapping, if you could single tap fast, you could stream fast. That those two things were linked in everybody's minds. So that, my dear viewer, is why they call it an alt map. It is nothing to do with the mapping style and everything to do with the fact that in 2011 and 2012, people hated players who played alternate style. They thought they could not survive. So maps like this are alt maps. Historically, these are alt maps because you had to alternate them. Even Scarlet Rose. The old rank 1 on this, not the 2017 one, but the one from beforehand, because Wolf had a hidden hard rock on Scarlet Rose from before 2017. I can't remember when or what accuracy, but he single tapped it, and he got like a 2-100 or something. Okay, so editor correction here. He got a 6-100, and it was like 2014, and he did actually alternate most of it. But I do distinctly remember in the past people full single tapping Scarlet Rose, so my point still stands. I just can't dig up evidence right now. So that's why this is an alt map. That's why the term is outdated and should not be used. Because this is not an alt map. Etc, etc, etc. We have to start thinking for ourselves. We have to break away from tradition and embrace modernity, okay? I still call them alt maps because I can't alt and I need to cope.